What's going on? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, what shorts did, as well as what really drove the market higher today. So I'm going to go over all that, but first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with that, let's get right to it. Lucid did manage to close green, 0.41%, rather low volume, so 12.9 million shares being traded, 23.7 is the average. That's been kind of the case for the greater part of the week, so just very low volume. But despite that though, Lucid has actually held this right here like a champ. As I've said, this S2, $2.43, has been a very strong support. Aside from that, I'll touch on that in a second, but there was no official news today, so it was just this definitive 14A submitted to the SEC recently, and that was done yesterday in the morning. And so yeah, they were kind of following the book. Based on this, there was no change from the preliminary 14A. I already kind of marked this up as you can kind of see it, so it does have those 4 proposals. In order to vote on these 4 proposals, you do need to be a record holder as of April the 10th. So if you did recently buy it, unfortunately, you can't vote on these 4 items. But in reality, you're not really missing all that much. Annual meetings are relatively boring, unless maybe there's some speculative like reverse stock split or something like that. But this one is just directors, ratify the registered accounting firm, compensation, and then 2021 stock incentive plan. So in my opinion, the only one people might really care about is the compensation, only because the stock price has really sucked. So technically, like, this is where some people might debate. Does compensation justify the or is dictated based on the stock price and performance, or is it operation? Because as I've said in the past, some people sometimes confuse the stock price with what is happening operationally. So that's the only sticky one, but still, beside the point, this is going to be on June the 4th, 2024 at 9 a.m. So in my opinion, this is kind of nothing. It's nothing really crazy. No reason to buy nor sell Lucid based on any of this. What really drove the market higher today, though, was PCE. So GDP came out yesterday. It was a little bit lower than the forecast, and PCE did come in a little bit higher than the forecast, which of course is negative. So you had 2 back-to-back data points that was negative. Normally the market would sell off, but now the market, obviously inverse, is saying, hey, look, we had 2 data points that was negative. There might be rate cuts. Even Citibank recently came out saying that there might be about 100 basis points of cuts as of July going forward. The estimates from here don't really kind of justify that, or no changes yet, but still 100 basis points worth of cuts is very optimistic, so that's why you did see the broader market rally today. Lucid was doing a fairly good job throughout the day, minding its own business, and then this happened. Very interesting, the fact that shorts would do this. I'll break that down. So shorts did end up increasing about 604,000 shares. 30.77% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 272.66 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average 55.48, utilization 100%. Short scored 95.58. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And under my other channel, just on a side note, trending stocks, every weekend I do have the top 5 squeeze stocks based on obviously short score, and Lucid actually might be making that list with 95.58. So definitely stay tuned for that. But back to my point though, as you can kind of see, shorts, for whatever reason, I couldn't find any news to justify why shorts just randomly increased, but this was them. Because keep in mind, by shorts increasing, that means that they are selling. So shorts did cause this. Again, based on what? I'm not really sure. I couldn't see any news, nothing really that would only affect specifically Lucid, because it didn't happen to Rivian, didn't happen to Tesla. It was only Lucid. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe it was just shorts adjusting or increasing. I'm not really sure. Aside from that though, it still did hold this. So on a technical stance, this right here, this S2 has been holding up like a damn champ. So going into next week, you definitely want to watch for that. And plus, also on a side note, this upcoming weekend, as I always do, I do a video on some expectations for this upcoming week. So stay tuned for that. I'll go over everything. But also on a side note, with it closing at $2.46, that means all those options that were technically in the money at the 250 strike price now are expiring worthless. And actually, to be fully honest, now that I'm saying it out loud, probably that is why shorts did increase, right? Because they wanted no chance of Lucid to close above or at 250. Maybe they just wanted to ensure that those options were not going to be expired, or get exercised in the money. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Of course, I don't think this is a very first stock that I've kind of pieced together that market makers and shorts might be one and the same, possibly, but still. Moving on though, looking right here, so going into this upcoming week, $2.64 will be that next strong resistance that you'll want to watch for Lucid to get above. This week, it didn't really touch that or come all that close. I think the highest was around 260 if I remember correctly. And on the actual chart itself, so today it did attempt to transition into the higher percentile, but unfortunately no dice, not a really good amount of institutional support, and that's one thing that's been really lacking with Lucid over this last little bit. So it is lower percentile right now. You do see a bearish deviation starting to form as of right now. It's a red line above the white as well. It is at 38, so that is considered somewhat neutral, so it's not oversold anymore or anything like that. So depending on data coming out next week, you could see some pretty extreme move price action when it comes down to that. And looking at momentum shows number of retail investors have been getting out for the last couple of days. So I'm not really sure based on why. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Did you buy today? Did you sell? What did you do with Lucid? Like I said, I bought a couple of days back and at $2.40. So I kind of bought the low essentially this time around. We'll just have to wait and see whether that does hold going into next week or not, but I'm pretty happy with that, especially leading into their upcoming earnings. Like I did say in my last video, analysts are looking a little bit more optimistic on Lucid, especially based on their estimates for their revenue, but you really want to watch for Lucid to kind of come out and say some very good hopeful actions or projects for the foreseeable future, aside from the gravity, of course. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo as I share with you. Simply sign up for a new account and throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧𝗛. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.